In Millennials and Money today, Richard Hilgert of Morningstar joins me. He's an auto analyst here to talk about what's going on with car buying and the next generation. Thanks for coming on our show.
Thanks for having me, Angie. Appreciate it.
What do you think is happening here? Are millennials leasing more or buying more?
Yeah, they are leasing a little bit more, and that's not such a bad thing. That's a pretty smart financial move in terms of renting a depreciating asset instead of buying a depreciating asset. So that's probably a good thing for them. That's a good thing for the automakers. In the longer term, as long as pricing in the automotive industry stays rational, this should be a decent overall positive for the industry. Leasing, when you lease vehicles, obviously that brings in more cars into the used car market, and that could have an impact, but the manufacturers all being a little bit more rational about the way that they're approaching the market now. So we view this as an overall positive for the industry.
How do you view wages and income of millennials?
Yeah, millennials have been one of the most underemployed and unemployed parts of the entire market. And because of that, they haven't been able to afford a car. And they heavily used ride-sharing services instead of buying a car because they just had to get back and forth to job interviews.
They love Uber.
They love
and
Uber.
Zip.
Exactly. And it's those ride-sharing services that provided them with the transportation while they weren't really having a very solid income. So now they're finding jobs, and the labor pool in the U.S. has been smaller than at any time since the 1970s. So it's very important to realize that this is an overall favorable thing for the automotive industry because automotive sales are most heavily correlated to the labor market and what's going on with unemployment. So for the millennials, getting to the age now where they're starting to have families, they're getting out of mom and dad's basement and finding work and moving out on their own, this group is now participating much more so in the new car market.
Now, what are you seeing among individual automaker names? How are those car companies being affected? Such as a GM or Ford. Who's doing the best with millennials?
Separated brand name called Scion with Toyota was very big with millennials. Subaru was also doing pretty well with millennials. But in general, all of the automakers really have products that the millennials like, and small to medium-sized crossovers are a very popular vehicle right now, and passenger trucks in general have really overtaken the market in the United States and become a very popular piece of the overall portfolio.
What about eco-friendly cars? Are millennials more apt to buy a car that's environmentally friendly?
Yeah, to some degree, hybrids are of interest to them, but again, those vehicles tend to be much more expensive than regular cars. For first-time car buyers, just a basic vehicle is pretty much all they're looking for at this point. So, yeah, they might aspire to having some green technology, but they got to start somewhere.
We saw lines of millennials wanting to buy that new Tesla, the more affordable version. Is this going to be good for Tesla?
Yeah, I think it's going to be good for Tesla in the meantime, but Tesla makes most of its money right now selling carbon credits to Fiat Chrysler so that Fiat Chrysler can manufacture Jeep Grand Cherokees.
Wow.
So it's good for Tesla that they've been able to do this, but they still haven't delivered on that product yet. That's still to come.
Thank you for your insights today. Much appreciated.
Thanks for having me.